Yesterday in my mind, I reburied Okike, my aunt, in a proper grave, in a coffin my memory grabbed from Aku Road, a beautiful white box edged with a blue stripe, a patterning of hibiscus with yellow blossoms embossed on its lid. Sometimes I sneak out to Aku Road to see the coffins sampled outside carpentry workshops, edging the fine arc of the road in all their colours and shapes. The road is a piece of artwork that I walk with my eyes, rising where it rises and curving where it curves. Even the Bishop Shanahan Hospital fence is artful in the way it curves, then rises elegantly as if determined to hold those coffins back from strolling in and claiming their bodies waiting in the mortuary. I picture the coffin makers, standing in their dusky workshops behind piles of their coffins, with ambitious stares that call for patronage, their bare bodies covered in fine, powdery wood dust and a sheen of muscle gloss. But passers-by always look the other way, always focused on the curve of the Bishop Shanahan fence opposite, fear and repulsion rimming their eyes like the dark lines of coal around my mother's, as if by merely looking they are summoning death. Okike's actual grave, in the garden near our house, has been overtaken by weeds, half buried in wild growth, umbrellas of mushrooms and small climbing grasses sprouting wildly over it. My mother tells me that today marks a decade since her death. I'm going to weed the grave neat, in commemoration of her passing, and one day I will make Okike a tomb. My mother says Okike lived with us when I was a child. She looked after me. She and I enjoyed a special bond, my mother says. Aho too beggy, She wonders at such closeness. I have never seen a child that close to an aunt, even more than he is to the mother. Sometimes I close my eyes and imagine Okike bathing me, soaping me all over, oiling my scalp and patting my baby neck and tender back with talcum powder, folding me in diapers and tossing me up in her arms, a happy, smiling fat thing. But did I wear diapers as a baby? I can't seem to connect my small village of Oregwu, a remote, rural place in eastern Nigeria, with the townshipness of diapers, talcum powder, and coconut oil, or this starved-looking boy that I see in the mirror to the round baby of my imagination. Okike was my grandfather's last-born. My mother tells me she drowned in the Izenwanyi cave on the eve of Palm Sunday. According to my mother, she was plucked out of the water and hastily buried without a proper funeral. Her grave lies unweeded. Time has blurred its edges. I want to build a tomb over her grave, a beautiful tomb to thank her for caring so much for me. But that will have to wait until I can afford it. I was 4 years old when Okike died, and 8 years old when my father took me to the Atama, the priest, of Izenwani. He took me there in secret because my mother, a Catholic, forbids her children from going near Izenwani's shrine. My father might be the last proud worshipper of Izenwani in our village. His face is probably the only one unfamiliar to the parish priest of the local church, Holy Trinity. But my father says the parishioners are hypocrites, not minding that my mother is one of those competing for the front pew during Sunday Mass. He says they bring nocturnal sacrifices to Izenwani to seek his favors, and then they wear long scapulars to the morning Mass the next day to please the parish priest. Pietists, he sneers. You must not tell your mother that I brought you here, my father whispered. I nodded, excited to share a secret with him, a secret between men.